This week on episode 5 of Bolts and Hose podcast, Kris and Bryce sit down with a legend in the metal supply industry, Bobby Janney from American Metal Group. The guys work through some engineered parts, and Paul joins us for another segment of the mailbag, giving voice to our loyal bolters and hosers. You can find all that and more on this week's episode of Bolts and Hose podcast.
Bolts and hose, boats and hose. I gotta have me my boats and hose. Boats and hose, boats and hose. I gotta have me my...
Welcome to the Bolts and Hose podcast. Bryce and I welcome Bobby Janney with American Metal Group.
Bobby Janney, the man, the myth, the legend.
Well,
welcome.
My pleasure, guys.
It's good to have you
Appreciate
on, man.
you having me here.
Anytime.
Thanks for the invite.
Thanks for coming in town from
Sylacauga, Alabama.
Hey, you got it. You got
Sylacauga.
Where is Sylacauga at?
Sylacauga is just a little southeast of Birmingham. And I know you practice that.
So that's not near the beach?
No, not near the beach. It's not near anything.
Okay.
It's near...
the Redneck Riviera is what they call it down there, right?
It actually is.
All right. So you're not on the Redneck Riviera.
We almost are.
Oh.
Coosa River runs within just a couple of miles of us.
Okay.
So
All right.
The beautiful Coosa River.
There you go.
So
Bobby, tell us a little bit about yourself, your background.
Well, we can get colorful as you want, but
I always like colorful.
Colorful, okay.
Yes.
Well, so I've been, I think this marks my 25th year actually in a sales or service function, if you will.
You don't look a day over 25, so that's impressive.
I'm not. Well, I'm not. In my mind, I'm still 25. So we age well.
You're doing something right, Bob.
We age well. So this is what I love doing. Love getting together with customers, meeting new people, seeing how we can solve problems together. So that's just where I've remained.
It's about relationships. I would say to the rest of the crowd that we've known Bobby for probably 15 years or so. I mean, we've all worked for different companies and things, but those relationships that we've had have endured a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's a big part of it.
Yep. Those relationships, those connections, just working with people who you like being around. That's you never work a day.
And you trust. I mean, I think that's a big part of it, is I can call you and I trust that you're going to take care of me. I mean, that's business 101.
Absolutely. If you
and little did we know we'd be sitting in a brewery one day doing a podcast over a beer.
That's right.
Yeah.
On just a random afternoon.
Talking about metals.
Bolts and hose.
Boats and hose.
Yes, sir. So back to AMG.
So AMG, American Metal Group.
Yeah.
I've been with AMG now for a very brief amount of time. I've known about them for about the last 6 years.
Okay.
Got a wonderful opportunity to become a part of this group just a few months ago, and it has been a fun ride. We're a privately owned steel manufacturer. Began as a cold finish distributor, and we also offer now heat treat bar, heat treat all thread. So you need something, you call us, and we'll see if we can't make it happen.
Yeah.
So
and domestic manufacturing, which seems to be the theme of this show. But,
USA.
Yeah.
USA.
You guys importing anything?
We can, but the focus is on domestic.
Okay.
Everything's made right there in Sylacauga,
Sylacauga,
Alabama.
So why Alabama? That's always weird to me, because there's some action in Alabama.
Yeah, how did a metals company end up in Alabama, Sylacauga, Alabama?
Well, you build it, they will come kind of thing. Birmingham's very rich in the iron and steel industry. It's kind of the center of where a lot of this stuff began. So we source things from all over the country, but a lot of things centered just right there. So it's kind of a hub for a lot of the sourcing.
I did not know that. Fascinating.
Well, that's the one good thing about Alabama.
The one good thing?
The one good thing.
Okay.
Other than you can marry your cousin or something, right? Or something like that.
Yeah, you got to give up the first one, but maybe the second?
Maybe the second?
Maybe the second.
Okay.
So.
And you got Roll Tide football, baby.
Roll Tide, War Eagle,
Is that your squad?
I'm on the Auburn side of things.
Oh, I got
I'm on the Auburn side of things.
So you wanted to fight me when I said that?
Nah, it's all good. It's all good. I mean, Tuscaloosa is a fun place. Most of the folks that, scream Roll Tide can't spell Tuscaloosa probably never set foot on the campus.
Shots fired.
My wife, one time, she lived in Alabama for a little bit, and she used to tell me there was a certain way that you had to say roll tide. It was like roll tide or something like that.
Yeah, there's no L's in it.
Something, is that what it is? Roll tide?
Roll tide.
Okay.
Roll tide.
Roll tide.
Okay.
And is there that little nod in there?
Yeah, there is. I mean, it's
Roll tide.
kind of like the little snub.
Okay. Okay.
Somebody asked me one time, said, "Why aren't you an Alabama fan?" I was like, well, I could be because they exude excellence, but I can't be because of the Alabama fans.
Ooh.
Oh.
There's some great ones.
Okay.
But gosh, there's some obnoxious ones.
There's obnoxious fans everywhere.
There really is. There really is.
Everywhere you go.
There
Cowboys fans.
We did a little coverage of the Cowboys last week, so yeah, we won't get into that again.
Okay. Well,
Let's get back
I'm
to
gonna stay
Alabama.
impartial.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot more jokes
Smart.
about Alabama than there are the Cowboys.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I
like,
don't know.
you know, Astros baseball out here to y'all is like Alabama Auburn football to us.
Okay,
back home,
yeah,
so
fair enough, yeah.
We got to hold tight.
Yeah. Don't get me started with that.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm a Cubs fan, so
Okay. Cool.
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Actually, got to meet a Cubs player the other day.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Let's come back to that.
Okay. Come back to that.
Yeah, it's kind of
Hush, hush.
incognito.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But it was really cool.
Fair enough.
I'll show you a video
All right,
even
tell me
later.
off camera.
Yes, let's do that.
Got it.
Let's
So,
do that.
so what else about the metals group? I mean, what kind of markets do you guys service, Bob?
Service center. We service service centers markets, so you know, big service centers around the country, and then fastener manufacturers like you guys.
Like
So,
us, yeah.
So people that are manufacturing product
Yes.
in the fastener industry. Any other cool markets out there, like automotive, food and beverage?
I mean, a little bit. There's a lot of cases where we don't even know where our product winds up.
Yeah. You'll sell it to big distributors, chopping it up and selling it to someone who's selling it to.
That's it. I've asked the question a lot of times, like, where's this going? Some of those guys don't even know.
Yeah,
It's
right.
all sold downstream.
Sure.
So, but yeah, it's cool sometimes.
But I know your business aligns pretty well with us because when we need something, we can call you and you guys can jump, right?
That's the relationship piece of it, is
Yeah.
kind of conforming to what your customers' needs are. Everybody needs everything right now.
Yep.
There's not many exceptions to that.
Yeah.
It's just the way the market is.
Yeah.
Seize the opportunity, let's get it done, let's get it turned around in hours.
Yeah.
Matters of hours.
Yeah.
So
And get on a truck and get it here.
That's it.
And start chopping it up.
that's it. So we manufacture bar. You know, a lot of the threaded we're sending it out is 12 foot. Send it out in big bulk bundles. Send it out to folks like you guys who break it down in smaller and may sell it in, you know, 1 or 2 sticks, or chop it up and sell it even further downstream. So
Sure.
it's just the distribution market.
Yep. That's it, man. That's it.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we appreciate everything you do from the domestic manufacturing side. You know, that's kind of what we built our business on. That's the specialty side of the business for us. Hot turnarounds, quick
Yes.
deliveries and things. The fact that you guys are local to us is an excellent resource for us. So we appreciate everything you guys do.
Well, I appreciate y'all. I mean, this is a very relationship business.
Yep. That's all it is.
So here's a question for y'all.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Oh, bring it on.
How important, you know, I know from my standpoint, looking at customer side of things, how important from a customer looking at a supplier piece is the relationship business? Is it a relationship business, and how important is it?
Yeah, you know, I think everybody knows, you know, we started this business about 5 years ago, and you know, starting a business from scratch like that, I think a lot of people that haven't been through that experience would assume that the customer side of it is the most challenging way to go, you know, looking for new customers, looking for outlets to sell your product. Bryce and I have said this many times throughout this journey, that trying to find good suppliers and good support group on that side has probably been the most challenging thing. You know, there's a lot of challenges to navigate there because you're approaching, you know, I think suppliers and distributors that are skeptical of a new company for one thing, because they don't know, you know, lots of things about them, pay history, you know, what kind of potential they can bring, you know, what kind of reputation they have in the market, what kind of value that they can bring to the end user. So I think you're just met with that skepticism from the supplier standpoint. I think customers are probably a little more open, you know, just navigating that and managing that constant day to day, because we're pretty demanding, especially when we're expected to turn around a product in 2 days. We're going to need you as a supplier to get that raw material to us in 1 day, you know, and you're going to look at us like you're crazy. But, you know, those are the types of things that we're asking constantly. So to answer your question, I think it's probably one of the most important aspects of any business is having that good supplier and also a good relationship with somebody like you who's the liaison to carry that message back to the management to say, hey, these guys need our help. If we're going to be guaranteed our business from this point forward, we're going to need to think outside the box to do what they need us to do.
From the customer standpoint, I think it's just been priority number one is to take care of customers. When they call us, it's not, hey, will you jump? It's how high will we jump?
Yeah.
We'll do whatever we can to go and pick up metal at a shop, to drive it over here, to, work the guys overnight. I've stayed out in the shop, pressing buttons. I know Kris has been here countless hours. So we'll just do whatever it takes. And so then you just earn the trust of your customer. They know that they can call you at any time of day and you'll make it happen. So, from a customer standpoint, it's always been, I would say, kind of easy for us just because it's ingrained in what we're doing. I mean, everyone that walks in our door, every employee that's ever been hired over there, that's the first thing we tell them. Say, you're walking into a place where a customer is priority number one. So
it's everything.
Yeah, it's everything. If we don't have customers, we don't have a business. If we don't have employees, we don't have a business. So those two things are the most important thing to us and our success.
Well, you already touched on it. I was going to say, come 5 o'clock, you shut your phone off. You're not working weekends. You're not working late.
We do.
Sales job is just the easiest thing out there, right? Everybody loves sales guys.
Yeah.
Production loves sales guys.
Yeah.
They never ask for anything.
Yeah. Yep.
Shoot.
Yes.
But like you say, you gotta work it with a customer. You gotta jump through hurdles to get it done, and then you got to go make the pitch to your own guys to go, hey, here's why we got to do this.
Yep.
But it's just a couple pieces, but it's the whole piece of it. It's the bigger piece.
Yep.
Yeah. So you never want to commit to something you know you can't do. But if I commit to it, dadgummit, we're gonna get it done.
Yeah. Give it everything you got.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's what we do, and I know that's what you do. So
we try hard.
We cannot do it on our own. We definitely need quality, good people with the same sense of urgency that we have. Because if our customers are expecting it of us, then we just have to have that to where we expect it from our suppliers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So cool. Well, y'all going to Vegas this year?
We are going to Vegas. We've got a nice little space reserved, and we've got some big plans there.
Awesome.
So, I'm sure it'll be some late nights, but we would consider that to be one of our strongest shows. I think we walk away with that with probably more new customer prospects than any other show we do. And admittedly, it's a very high fastener concentration, but I think it just kind of illustrates how much in demand a good manufacturer is in the marketplace these days, especially hot turnaround, domestic product, specialty product, hot, tight, critical tolerances. You name it. If there's anything special and non-standard, anything outside of the import brown boxes that come in from overseas, there's a need for that in the marketplace. So we try to fill that void every day.
Well, y'all make a show. Y'all make a presence. You know when you see you guys coming. You know exactly what state you're from.
So every year we have to top last year. So
please tell me
keep that in mind.
Please tell me you have tassels on the shirt this year. Tassels and rhinestones.
Just you wait. We can't give away any secrets yet.
Well, if we didn't, we do now.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
You must come to Vegas to see.
Well, Vegas is. I watch a train wreck. I love seeing. Would you go watch that? Absolutely. I want to see it.
Yes.
You are one of the few guys that I'm almost scared to go out with after the show. I'm like,
why would that be?
We're going to wind up in trouble.
Well, no, I'd never end up in trouble.
Never in trouble.
Never in trouble. This is the thing. I'm usually the last one awake, but I'm usually the first one awake too. So
I will agree with that. He has superhuman strength when it comes to drinking and partying.
It's amazing. That's the first time that I've read it. Absolutely.
I can't keep up with him. I'm an old man. I'll admit it.
We were out last year and we're standing around talking, and literally it's kind of like just flashed before my eyes, and I went from standing in the casino to in the back of a limo, and I'm like, how did I get here?
Yep.
How did I get here?
Yes.
He's like, I just called my guy. You had a guy on speed dial. In fact, you had multiple guys on speed dial.
Well, you're in Vegas. That's what you got to do, And I'm here to take care of my suppliers, man.
Well,
I didn't want to ride in an Uber with you.
Well, I enjoyed the ride. I enjoyed the ride. Let's see, Austin was there with us.
Austin was, yep.
Let's see, you were not.
Kris is asleep.
Yeah, I probably was asleep. That's fine. I'll admit it. That's good.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I heard about it the next day, though. Yeah.
You didn't hear anything.
Yeah. I saw pictures, Bobby.
No, there were no pictures.
Yeah. Never pictures.
Never pictures.
I don't think cameras work in Vegas, do they?
No, it's like a bubble. It's a Faraday cage.
Yeah.
You know.
Automatically phone shuts down.
Yeah.
We're going to probably cut all this out.
That's great. No, this is good. We got this. Not if I'm editing.
Oh man. Well, this has been fun, guys.
Yeah, thanks for
really
coming,
fun.
man.
So
yeah. It's always good hanging out with you.
Appreciate the invite.
Anytime, man.
You traveled a long way from Sylacauga,
Sylacauga, Alabama.
And we'll have to visit sometime. I hear great things about Sylacauga.
Come on, we got some of the great Wendy's and Jack's just right down the road.
Perfect.
Some good roadkill.
Yes.
Roadkill soup.
Yep.
Brown gravy.
Yep.
Yeah.
The cousins actually run the restaurant.
Nice. The cousins are.
They're married cousins. but-
Sure. Best guy.
So
Thanks, Bobby.
Cheers,
we appreciate
Bobby.
it, man.
appreciate it. Cheers. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Yes, sir.
Good to see you. All right, welcome back to the Bolts and Hose podcast, episode 5. We are now to the show and tell segment of the podcast where Bryce walks around the shop, grabs a couple of parts, just some interesting parts. I'm always surprised at the variety of designs and shapes and geometries and materials and just the sheer variety of parts that we've got and that Bryce brings here. So
It's pretty cool.
It's awesome, yes.
Yeah. Every time I walk out there, like I walk to each machine, they're like, hey, what's cool this week?
Yeah.
And there's always something.
Yeah.
It's always something neat. And you know, my background, I came from rolled alloys, shout out.
Rolled alloys.
Stainless nickel duplex alloys. And so that's like my heart. You know, I get really excited when I see nickel alloys and, you know,
Those are good ones.
special stainless and duplexes. So I purposely grabbed some of those.
And almost always, if not always, that's a domestic material, right?
Usually, I mean, DFARs definitely. So it's going to be, you know, Milt U.S. manufactured U.S. or Milt UK manufactured U.S. There's a variety, but typically it's all brought from Europe or USA. Absolutely.
So high nickel content,
High nickel content or
very high temperature resistance, corrosion resistance.
So these two right here, definitely nickel. So 718, check this part out. I like this one. Small. Little shoulder screw, socket drive, a 1032, 718, AMS 5663, 150 min yield strength. Typically used high temperature, corrosive atmosphere.
So how do you get to 150 min yield strength?
You know, usually the game's kind of changed a little bit. Back in my day, not a lot of people sold 718 in condition like this, in condition already and heat treated. They'd sold, it was all annealed bar, and then it would have to get sent out to a heat treater and basically age hardened to meet this specification. So now people stock the raw material already in this condition. So, you know, you bring in AMS 5663 bar and you get to work, chop it up and cut it up and start turning.
Very cool.
So, you know, very high nickel, very expensive material. I mean, this stuff is ranging from like 30 to 40, 45 bucks a pound these days. So,
and where do you use that? You're not going to find that in a typical refinery application, right?
Typically, no. I mean, there are some applications in refineries. You'll see some valves, some reactors maybe, but typically this is going to go into like a gas turbine, you know, some sort of engine part where it's seeing some high temperature, high pressure, you know, H2S. So that's more nice, but yeah, just a dirty, nasty temperature environment.
Yeah. Very cool.
So, cool part there. Let's go to these next. So,
Listen here?
Yeah. So I brought you a piece of round bar. So these are actually in process right now. They're probably mad at me because they want this part so they can run it. B8 Class 2. So 304
Very nice.
round bar.
So we would receive this in a 12-foot diameter bar.
Correct.
Right?
Yep, exactly. So, you know, we source it, 12-foot round bars, random lengths, bring it in, chop it up, goes to the saw, gets cut to length, and then it'll actually go to the CNC. This is a finished part. So, by 1 3/4 bar, and then it is brought over to the CNC, They do the operation on the CNC. That's actually 1 3/4 5 thread pitch.
5 thread pitch.
Double end stud.
That's not UNC, right?
No.
No.
Yeah, it is.
It is? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It is coarse thread.
Okay.
So very sexy part.
Very nice. Beautiful threads. So
It does.
That's all CNC, right?
Yep, all CNC. Single
CNC
point.
threads, yeah.
Yep.
Very nice. Beautiful. And then the last part we have
Outside.
is right here. This is an acorn nut?
An acorn nut, but it's a special configuration. It's got like a little lip, I'm assuming, for an O-ring maybe?
You know, it might be an O-ring.
So a little washer face, a little lip, and then it's a little, it's a drilled tapped. So that's $625, Inconel $625, another high dollar material. This was an extra part they had laying around. This was actually, they already shipped this out. So, cool part.
Very nice. So a customer sent us a drawing on this.
Send us a drawing.
Told us what material spec to use. We sourced material and then just produced it to their print.
Yeah, I think we sourced 2-inch round bar on that one. Brought it in, chopped it up.
So that's cool. Solid round bar. There's a lot of processes in this. So the machining, a lot of cool geometry, milling the flats, machining the groove. You're having to drill and thread on the internal thread.
Yep.
Really cool part. Yeah.
Yep.
How many pieces with this, Bryce?
You know, I don't know that off the top of my head. Like I said, this was an extra part that was laying around.
Probably low quantity though, right?
I think it was a handful.
Yeah.
Depends on what you call low quantity.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
So just some cool parts. Like I said, stainless, nickel, duplex, alloy steel, you name it, we do it. We run it all the time.
All right, before we conclude this segment, let's talk a little bit about the beverages we're consuming.
Double Galaxy IPA.
This is probably the best beer that I've ever had at Ingenious.
Sure.
So double IPA, it's about 8.5%. So obviously based on the way we're talking right now, I don't think we've consumed but maybe one of these, so which is good.
Just wait, my friend. Just wait. It is good though. It's refreshing. Our friends here at Ingenious, they make some really good beer.
They're fantastic. Yeah, we love being so close to them. So
I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing.
it can be considered both.
They have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on the arcade over there. You can go.
They've got a lot of cool activities coming up. I think tomorrow they have something called, or actually tomorrow, Friday, they will have something called Brews and Bros.
Bros and Brews.
I think it's a thing where guys can come here and they take them for a tour around the brewery in the back, and it's just a big guys meet type thing. And then I know they're ramping up for something for May the 4th, some type of Star Wars themed thing. So May the 4th
be with you.
Yes, exactly.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yep.
Who is your favorite Star Wars character, Kris?
You know, I think Boba Fett is probably, yeah. Do you know who that is?
I've heard the name.
You know, Han Solo would be a close second.
Han Solo?
Yep.
Okay, really?
Yeah, what's yours, Bryce?
It's got to be Princess Leia.
Jabba the Hutt?
I'm jealous of the hair, you know. I wish I could do that.
No, I do know, yes.
Yeah. Or Chewbacca. Chewbacca's a good one.
There you go. Yeah.
It's always fun.
All right, guys, appreciate it. Until next time, we'll bring in some more cool parts. So thanks for joining.
Mailbag's next, right?
Mailbag's next.
Okay.
All right.
Hey guys.
Hey, Paul.
Hey, Paulie.
Cheers,
How's
brother.
it going, my man?
Good to see you.
Very good. It's been a busy week.
It's been a busy week. Well, hey, the good news is I got out of that reconnaissance mission last week.
Really?
Yeah. It worked. Yeah. Good news.
Very good. And did it go okay?
I survived it. Yeah. It's all good.
Well
yeah.
done.
And don't let that swimming pool behind you and all that stuff fool you. I was working hard, guys.
That was just part of the incognito mode, right?
Definitely. I had to blend in.
So where are you now, Paul? You're in your lair?
I am in my lair. Yeah, this is the lair I'm in as of today. But I'm representing. You can see. Yeah.
BB.
Always working. No matter where I'm at, I'm always working, guys. You don't need to worry about that. Excellent.
We have full faith in you, Paul.
I know you guys do. So listen, we've got some great news today. Once again, we have this incredible group of supporters out there loving the Bolt and Hose podcast, and we've got
We're feeling the love.
Mailbag.
Yeah.
Mailbag.
Thank you, Bryce. You nailed it. So listen, we've got some incredible questions today from our followers and our cult following. Are you guys ready for them? Let me know.
Rock and roll, Paul.
Bring it on, baby.
All right. So this one was actually addressed to Kris specifically, which I found, nice. He's got a little bit of a following, I guess. And so, Kris, here we go. So this comes from our guest. If you're not first, you're last. That's his call sign.
Got it. Okay.
All right. So here we go. All right, Kris. So after working in the fastener and sealing industry for 25 plus years and working your way up to VP of Global Sales and Marketing for a well-established player in the industry, i.e. Layman's Manufacturing and Services, what gaps, frustrations, or opportunities did you see in the market that inspired you to leave your corporate career behind and start Patriot Bolt and Fastener?
That's a good question. I would say, in that role, you're exposed to a lot of different things, customers, vendors, the financial side of the business, not to take anything away from them. It's a fantastic company and lots of friends and family still work at that company. So I can't take anything away from it. It's a great company. However, I would also say that they're very good at some things, and there's some things that a large organization like that they struggle with. And when you're as large and you're doing as much volume as they do, there's another segment of the business which is the higher service level. It takes a little more attention and focus to handle a certain segment of the business. And if I had to identify any gap at all, it's probably that. A smaller, nimbler player in the marketplace like us, you have the ability to go out and look for business that might require a little higher service level and a little higher level of attention. So I'd say frustrations. I wouldn't necessarily call it frustrations. I'd just say it's a limitation of somebody that's got a big, machine like that, and it's difficult to coordinate some of those micro things. It's much more of a macro organization.
Got you. Great response. So there's actually a follow-up question to this. And the follow-up question is, what was your main goal in year one when you started Patriot Bolt and Fastener? And was that goal a far-reaching goal, or did you set the goal too small looking back 5 years from now or from today?
I would say that I probably, in hindsight, did set the goal too small. I didn't have huge expectations. Of course, I wanted to be successful and grow it as quickly as possible. However, I don't think I could have anticipated how successful we would have been within the first 12 months. I think, I didn't know what to expect, going into it. And I think most people do, when they start, they've worked in corporate America their whole lives and then start something entrepreneurial like that. I had never done that before. So, doing that and going into it, I think I did keep my expectations somewhat low, but it was only because I didn't know what I didn't know. So once we got into it and we started seeing some success and started gaining the support of customers, it was very refreshing. I was very surprised, and we've just built on that. So, hopefully that was a good enough answer.
His expectations were low because I was by his side. That's why.
Well, it's funny you say that, because I got a question from another fan, and this fan is actually speaking specifically to Bryce. So I'm speaking to you, buddy. And this question comes in from Little Bird Big Pecker. What's so funny? I don't get it.
It's a great name.
I love it.
It's a great name. I look forward to this question.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So a little birdie. So the fan writes in, a little birdie mentioned that Bryce Oliveira also came from Layman's Manufacturing and Services. So the question is, Bryce, in reference to the 1996 rom-com comedy or the rom-com sports comedy Jerry Maguire.
Sure.
Would you consider yourself the Renee Zellweger of Patriot, Bolt, and Fastener? In other words, did you feel obliged to leave the company because Kris left with a little more than his goldfish?
Maybe. I just was ready for a change, and I needed a breath of fresh air. And when Kris and I talked about it, it definitely was something totally different and crazy. And so as far as your reference goes, it's probably been 15 years since I've watched that movie. So I'm not going to comment on that, but I will say that it was a time for a change and to do something a little different and have some fun.
Right on. Well,
Can you do the show me the money impression, Bryce? Can you do your best Cuba Gooding Jr.?
I can take my shirt off and jump off the table and say, "Show me the money."
A couple of more beers, and we're going to be going down that road.
Crazy too nuts. All right, guys. Last question, if we have the time. Do we have the time?
Bring it on.
All right. So this goes out to anybody. I guess probably both of you guys. And this is kind of it's a spinoff question from a fan we had last week from the guy. If you had to, guys, if you had to get a tattoo of any nut, bolt, or fastener, what would you get and why, and where would you put it?
It's a really good question. I mean, I think you would have to go a stud, two nuts. I mean, that's just the classic, the classic bolt tattoo. I would probably get, what? I think I would go across like Thug Life on the belly.
Nice.
Like it. And just have it kind of wrap around the belly button with the two nuts on each side.
Oof. Impressive.
That's,
dude.
One love to Tupac. Thug Life.
I just love the reference of like the two nuts on each side hanging.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that's tough.
It's just classic, I just think it's like getting mom on your shoulder.
And Class C.
In Class E.
Yeah, I like it.
Kris has gone.
No, I think I would do the how Adam Levine has the California thing on there. I think I would get Patriot spread across there. That'd be nice. Across the belly. Isn't it on the belly?
I think he just ripped you off, Bryce.
Yeah.
I think, Kris, let's be honest. I think you might get it on the small of your back.
Thug Life and Adam Levine, completely different.
It is completely different.
Yeah.
Okay. So no one's going to get it on the small of their back?
That's an acceptable answer. Just, well, okay, you could do the tramp stamp of like, a 12-point bolt across the lower back.
This actually would look really good on your head. An acorn nut on your head. Awesome,
fellas. So listen, thanks again for all of our loyal fans and listeners. If you have any questions, send them to sales@patriotbolt.com. We appreciate your support of the show. Make sure you subscribe and like our channel, and pass it on to your friends and coworkers. Give them a laugh. We're definitely loving doing this, and we'll continue to do it. Just give us the support and love, and we love you guys. And Kris, Bryce, anything else?
Thanks, Paul. Appreciate it. Cheers, brother.
As always.
Until next time.
Till next time.
See you, brother.
Boats and hoes, boats and hoes. I gotta have me my boats and hoes. Boats and hoes, boats and hoes. I gotta have me.